So in that case, what will happen if the temperature is a different temperature? We have, because inside the temperatures means room space will have different temperature. Because if a room, if a cabin is just adjacent, means the it is a outside condition is directly exposed to the bulkhead of that cabin, that cabin temperature will be different. Like suppose the outside temperature is cold, that the cabin temperature will be much cooler than the other cabin. For an example, bridge is exposed to the outside weather directly. Now, bridge temperature in summer it will be very hot, and cold temperature it will be cold. So we need to have maintain accordingly. We have seen the inside condition should be same. The 22 20 to 27 degrees centigrade, and humidity we know within that comfort zone. Now, if a cabin which is not exposed to the outside weather, that cabin will be different temperature. So that is the reason we have to have different temperature to maintain in different areas of the ship. For an example, cabin is close to the engine room. In that case, those cabins will be hotter compared to the other cabins. So if we supply the same conditioned air to all the cabin, then what will happen? In that case, the some cabin will be comfort level will be maintained, some cabin comfort level will not be maintained. That is the reason we have ducting system. It can be maintained by the single duct, it can be maintained by the two double duct. So we'll see this, we'll start this portion next class. Now tell me, till now, any questions? Is it clear what I said about the ducting? Any questions? About the ducting, is it clear? Why you need to maintain a different temperature, conditioned air temperature should be different in different area of the accommodation of the ship. Any question? Is it clear to you all? Or any question? Yeah, Dev, tell me.
Yes, Chief, it's clear.
Yeah, Dev, tell me.
So when we are talking about this single ducting and double ducting, I have one vessel. Some cabins have two ducts, and the other have only single duct. Are we talking about this, or it will be all the cabins, all the accommodation will have
Yeah, what you are saying that it
two
means
ducts and
in what you are saying, in the same shape, both single duct and the double duct was designed. It can happen. We'll see that in single duct how it is, why it is single duct, and how the temperature is controlled, and in double duct how the temperature is controlled. They will not be controlling in the same way. There will be some difference. But why we want to have the different conditioned air in different spaces? Because of that reason, what I said, that different room will not be uh, exposed to the same condition. Like close to the engine room, it will be, that room will be hotter. You'll have to, for an example, if the outside is cold, in that room, the condition temperature, you need to, it means because you are heating, outside is cold. It means in that room, if you supply uh, a cooler, means the cooler temperature, it is okay for that room because it is exposed to the heat, outside heat. And if you supply the bridge heating should be high. The temperature should be high because there will be much heat loss from the inside the bridge because it is exposed to outside condition, outside rate. So to control that, we have the ducting system. If we don't control this, then what will happen? If you supply same, the temperature which you require for the breech, it is higher temperature, same temperature you supply to a cabin which is close to the engine room. Then what will happen? That cabin will become more hotter, warmer, which will not be comfortable for the person living there. So we need to individual space areas we need to have the control. So to have that control, we'll have the ducting system. We'll see how that temperature is controlled. And in your shape, what you said that David has said that in his shapes he has a single duct as well as double duct. It means both was designed on that shape, and you can have only single duct in all the spaces. You can have double duct on all the spaces also, and it can have the combination of that also. Any other questions? Yeah, Safnes, tell me.
So, Chief, when we are saying double duct, this means two ducts are coming to the cabin.
Yeah, that's true. So it's coming to the space with two duct is coming.
So, why we are making two ducts? I mean, why don't we just make a bigger duct for that specific room and for the others smaller duct? I mean, wouldn't this solve the problem?
So you mean to say the quantity, isn't it? But quantity,
Yeah, if we increase the
yeah,
quantity.
but quantity should be sufficient for other purpose. So you cannot, temperature should not be controlled by the quantity. It should be controlled by the temperature. You can, because what we do, many times if it is outside, it's cold, what we do, if you are feeling cold, you reduce the flow, isn't it? So that flow, if you
Yes.
reduce, then what will happen? That stall air has to be removed. It will affect all these problems. So it is the reason what we have instead of flow. Now, if we control by the flow, that room will be supplied less air, and that will give some other problem. You may be having the temperature, but that change of air that will not take place because it will be insufficient air to that room. So we that's the reason we don't do that. But many times we throttle. That is, but throttling is up to you. It is not throttling by the design. Design is if you keep it full open. So the air supply to the cabin will be sufficient to take care of other factors, such still layers, then sufficient change of air, and then sufficient quantity of air to leave you. You are living in that compartment, so mass flow rate should be there sufficient, and it should be distributed all over the cabins. If you throttle, then it might not be distributed all over the cabin because the flow will be less. So the double ducting, it's not controlling the quantity; it is controlling two different temperature. It is reaching to the room, and then you can mix it in different ratio depending on the temperature you need. It means the total mass flow will remain same. Like fresh air and recirculation we have seen, it will be the same. Understood? We'll go to this next class. We'll go
Okay.
to this. So, any other questions? Uh, so, any other questions? So, if no questions, then we close it here. We'll end it here. But and we'll start again at 1400 hours. That is electrical lecture. TTO Sudhakaran will give you the lecture.
Okay, thank you, Chief.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yeah, good day to you all.